Hello everyone, Amanda here. Tutorial I just wanted to share with you has come up with a student this week is about dodging and burning. So I think dodge and burn is kind of one of those really missed and really useful ways of editing images we sort of forget with all the clever stuff. So I just wanted to share with you something on Photoshop that's really important. So I've created, this is an image I've been working on this week. So I've created a stamp layer for us to work on. So if you're not familiar with a stamp layer, it is where you've merged all the layers underneath, but you still have all the layers underneath. So this stamp layer has all this information on it, but without flattening these layers. So I've still got them. So to create a stamp layer, if you're not sure, is Command, Option, Shift and E if you are on a Mac, or that's Control, Alt, Shift and E if you're on a PC. Okay, so here we are on the stamp layer. So the traditional way of dodging and burning would be to use the tools over here on the left panel. So there's my little icon. If I right click, gives me dodge, burn and the sponge tool. So let's use the burn tool because that's going to be easier for this image. I wouldn't particularly dodge or burn this, but just for an example. Let's zoom in a bit. So normally you would be on the image layer and you would come in with your burn tool and we've got the highlights selected. So let's actually say no, let's go for the shadows. So we only burn the dark bits basically. And I always pull the exposure right down. So let's just see what that does. So as you can see, it does the job great, but of course, we are actually burning straight onto our layer. So this is destructive editing. And the problem with the dodge and burn tools are you can't dodge and burn onto an empty pixel layer. So if there's no pixels, it can't work. So if I create a brand new layer, a transparent layer, I can't dodge and burn. There's nothing for it to bite into. So let me just delete that and show you a different way of doing this. So I'm going to Command Z my way back. So we get rid of the burning that I've done. Not that it matters because it's on the stamp layer, but let's just do that. So this is what I would do if I wanted to use the dodge and burn tools. I would come up and I would go Layer, New, Layer. And then in this box, come down to where it says Mode, and these are the blend modes, exactly as you see over here on the layer panel. So we're going to come here and select Soft Light, and then you'll see this line here that was greyed out, fill with soft light neutral colour, 50% grey, is now no longer greyed out. Tick it and say yes. And as you can see, Photoshop has now given you a grey layer. And in Photoshop, mid-grey is neutral. So although it's not transparent, it won't have any effect. So if you blend anything with the blend modes with it, you'll just get what you had before. It's like adding 0 plus 0. It's just not going to make any difference. So the beauty of this then is now we have some pixels for our dodge and burn to grab hold of. So I've still got my burn tool selected. Everything else up here is exactly the same. I'm going to come on here and just click, and as you can see, it's burning. And the second beauty of this is if you look over here on the layers panel, you can see the shadow starting to appear where I'm working. Just to make that a bit clearer, I'm going to do something I would not do normally. Let's push the exposure to 100% and burn very strongly. So you can see, just so you can see the lines appearing on the grey layer. And so the beauty of this is not only are you not destructively editing on your image layer, that you can also see where you've been. Now I'm going to come out of here anyway. I'm going to delete this layer, so I'm not going to Command or Control Z backwards because I would delete this. But that is a better way of dodging and burning. And the other thing that you can do here is instead of using the dodge and burn tool, you can have much more control if you use the brush. So I've just selected the brush tool. I'm going to grab a better brush because that's the brush I've got selected is not suitable for this. So grab my normal soft brush, make it a bit bigger, come in, select black. So black is going to be for burning and white is going to be for dodging. And we'll just use this grey layer that I've already worked on. So we're still on, you do exactly the same thing. You'd create a layer, new layer. Let's grab another one actually, soft light. Select that button, fill with soft light neutral colour. Okay, so now we've got another one. Let's turn this one off and delete it actually. So here we've got another one of those. We're using the black brush because black is going to burn. I've dropped the opacity and flow right down. You can see here on my options bar, they're right down. And then I would come in, and it's much too strong. You'd obviously do this with a lot more care. But, oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong layer. See, this is the mistake. I'm actually burning onto the layer itself. We don't want to do that. So Command or Control Z to step back. We're now on the grey layer. Let's delete that one. Come back up to the grey layer and let's paint our black on. So as you can see, this is now non-destructive editing. You can see where you've been, and you've got the added benefit of lots of control. So you have opacity and flow capability of control here. And obviously you can also change the opacity and feel of the whole layer. So although you could change the opacity and feel of the whole layer using the dodge and burn tool, the big difference in control here is I could say I'm going to have these settings for doing this mast and this boat. But when I come and do this, the horizon, I'm going to pull this right down much lower. So this is a much more professional way with much more control of doing your dodge and burn. So just a quick thing, I hope that helped. I hope that you find these tutorials useful. If you're not already signed up to my newsletter, please do, and I will try and share at least one tip every couple of weeks like this to help you with your creative editing. I will speak to you really soon. Bye for now.